What is up, you wonderful folks? I'm Alex with Swamp Rat Fishing. I'm with the co-hostess with the mostest, Paul Roberts, a.k.a. Paul Heels, a.k.a. the Gout Avenger. And we are your weekly distraction from quality fishing podcast. This is Bass and Brews. Paul, how are you, buddy?
You forgot the most important AKA, which is Ike Rules.
I'm not recognizing the blasphemy that you put on your name, which would be the words Ike and rules in the same sentence. But I'm guessing that ties into our guest here. Who do we got on today, Paul?
We got Mr. Jeff Malott from the famous KBN, Kayak Bass Nation page and podcast.
Jeff, how are you?
How you doing tonight, Jeff?
Good, man. Don't you mean infamous? I don't know about famous.
Well, we could get into some of the Three Amigos infamous or infamous.
Yeah.
Talk.
I like that. That's my generation, bro. I can go with that.
Oh, but look, that's one of the greatest movies ever told right there.
You're kidding.
All right.
Now
so
we need a plethora of sweaters.
Before we get started, Paul, we talked about this. I know I've only been gone, or we had a whole week together last week, and we were only gone for 2 weeks. You know the deal. Now we just do dead air. I don't know. I'm just messing with you. Anyways, we like to talk about.
God, you put him back in charge again. And he's so excited he doesn't even know what to do.
I want to talk about hooksethoodlums.com. You guys know we mention them every single episode. A great family of fishermen. I do want to mention
anglers
for the rest
or fishers.
Or fishers or anglers or hookers. Can we call them hookset hookers?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Cody was a hooker in the past life.
Y'all need to get you talking about hookers, you need to get Lambert in here, not me.
Well, he done been in here once.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't mention not a single hooker. We're gonna have to have him back on and dive into that.
Yeah. But at the time of recording, this is October 2021. Hook set for the rest of this month with every purchase is you're going to get a free Cancer Sucks limited edition sticker, and every purchase they're giving out a donation for cancer research. So head over hooksethoodlums.com, check them out. Paul, what are you drinking tonight, brother?
I have a new one. It's a local brewery here called Aviator, and it's their October Beast. And I got it because it's got a really, really nice, cool, like fucking Lockwood lion on it.
Dude, I love mushrooms. I've noticed that you pick the majority of your beers for this show based on the design on the can, and I absolutely love that.
And alcohol content, even though this one's pretty sorrily low. It's only 7%. So I'm going to have to make up with it. I'm going to have to make it up with a couple truly extra hards.
There you go. Jeff, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I cracked one before we came live. I've got a special spotted cow that I brought home from Wisconsin from one of the tournaments up there. A lot of the guys go bring a couple cases back. So I got a spotted cow, then I got a couple Yinglings over here on the side. I only drink one or two spotted cows a night. I want just a regular lager. If I can get it in there. But yeah, I got to ration the spotted cows. I can't blow through them. I got to make them last.
Oh, heck no. Those things are like
that's
liquid gold.
That's a haul to get that beer for you too. It ain't like you can go snag it.
Tonight I'm drinking Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA. I didn't know this. One, it's in they're from Chico. I knew that, Chico, California, which is not crazy far from where I'm at. But Paul, did you know that they have an East Coast brewing plant as well?
Asheville, North Carolina.
No, Mills River, North Carolina.
That's Asheville.
There it is. I didn't know that. Look at that connection, though. You're in North Carolina. I'm in California. We've got Sierra Nevada.
That might be the fucking worst connection anybody has ever made on the fucking internet.
Y'all are bi-coastal.
Exactly. All right, boys, let's crack them. Everybody ready?
Hey, oh shit! 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Woo!
All right. So Jeff, tell us how you got into all of this.
First, Jeff, we had Josh from Dark Waters on.
Yeah.
And Alex, this motherfucker, I said, hey, bud, we're going to shotgun a beer. First of all, he started to shotgun without Josh.
Yes.
And then secondly, I shotgunned a 16-ouncer. Like, I could have done 2 by the time he was done with his 1. And so ever since then, we ain't never shotgunned again.
Well, don't get me into that. I drank this thing with my pinky up. I ain't shotgunning nothing.
Listen, to defend myself, I have no defense. That was the worst shotgun on the internet. It was, I feel like shotgunning it made it go slower. Somehow I got nothing but foam, and it took. I watched it back when I looked at it to edit it. It took a little over a minute to drink 1 beer by shotgunning. It was the complete opposite of what you're trying to do. I was awful at it. All right, so Jeff, how'd you get into kayak fishing?
Kayak, okay. Well, I've been doing this. Golly, it's been, I guess, almost 12 years now. I grew up in Ohio. I'm in Arkansas now, but I grew up in Ohio. Not really a bass fisherman, but my uncle was kind of the unmarried cool uncle that lived on the river. We all hung out at his house. He had canoes, and we just junk fished and lived on the river as teenagers and young kids. Moved away, got in the military, got married, and my wife's dad said, "You're gonna be in this family, bub. You're gonna play golf and bass fish." So he taught me to do both, and I bass fished with him and played golf with him and all that stuff for years. We did some tournament fishing and whatnot, but all on the powerboat side. Then 12 years ago, I took a job in Northwest Arkansas away from him, who was my boater. My boys were both in high school, so I didn't have a lot of extra money to go ahead and jump off and get my own boat. And I saw something about kayak fishing. It wasn't on Facebook. I think it was in a magazine like Books A Million or something. So I got to the internet, started researching it, and said, you know what? I grew up on the river and canoes and whatnot. These kayaks look pretty cool. So I think it was Austin Kayak. They had a website then too. I jumped on Austin Kayak, ordered a couple Wilderness System Ride 115s. I've been rolling ever since.
And so you started with Wilderness. What are you riding now?
Now I'm with Old Town. I've got Old Town Big Water PDL and a Autopilot 120. I had a 136 last year, but I've been on the Old Town team for 4 years now. Been working with them for a while, ever since the Predator PDL came out, basically. So been a good partnership. Enjoyed being with them.
I'm just happy to hear you made the right decision when it comes to kayak brands, and that you went with the superior boat, which would be any Old Town boat.
That's right, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you think that way. Your mind is right. I mean,
listen, I researched a lot before I got my Old Town. I have a Topwater 120 PDL, and I looked at a lot of those fake brands. The established one that starts with H. I won't say its name because Paul will start crying because he threw away money on the glitter boat of kayaks. But I'm just happy that you made the right decision.
Yeah, man. People forget Old Town is under that Johnson Outdoors umbrella. So when they started getting serious about it, they got the deepest pockets in the game. If they want to really get into R&D and making a quality product, they can blow anybody away with financial backing. So, when they started getting serious back in 2015, 2016, it's been gangbusters ever since, man. I mean, they're blowing and going. They've got some stuff coming down the pipe that's pretty cool too in R&D.
Yeah, right now. What's coming down? What do you got? You got a hot tip here? You got a hot tip?
No, man, no. They just keep your eyes open. Right now, they're just trying to get caught up because they're so backordered, just like everybody else and every other line of manufacturing in the world. But as soon as they get caught up, I mean, they've got some stuff on the cooker. So we'll see what happens.
And that's the thing about Old Town. Forever. Well, yeah, they used to be one of the greatest canoe makers ever. But that's the thing with them being with the Johnson & Johnson brand is they don't have everything's already in house.
Yeah, they ain't with Johnson & Johnson. They're not jabbing people with needles, bro. I thought we weren't talking about that.
No, that's the baby powder. Johnson & Johnson's the baby powder. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, everything's already in house, so it's not like they got to go out. I mean, the R&D is all right there to get.
Yeah. I mean, they got Minn Kota, Humminbird, all of them right there.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean,
I keep pushing them to put some of those Raptors make some mini Raptors to throw on the back of these old towns. To compete with that power pole, the power pole is the only deal. So
it is.
Anyway.
It is.
I mean, that would be really heavy, but if you could figure out, those like canes that blind people use?
Yeah, just
like
some
if
little
you
ones.
made a sturdy version of that, right? That could like collapse in, like.
Yeah, it's just a little mini premature Raptor or something,
Premature. Listen, it's perfect. It's perfect. A little preemie Raptor on the back. It could even be like
juvenile Raptor.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go.
Caw.
All right, so you went from a big boat into kayak. When did you push for tournaments? Because you do a lot
right away, man. That's the first thing I found. But as soon as I bought them, I was all into research and everything, and I found a local club here in Arkansas within a month of having my boats, and I found those guys and met up with them, and I've been neck deep in it ever since. With after a year of fishing with them. Back then, 2010, 2011, the clubs were kind of loosely formed and quickly fizzled out. They weren't, really big. Even KBF was in its infancy. They weren't really doing anything except an open once a year.
River Bassin did Greg have River Bassin?
They were kind of piddling with it. It got really serious pretty quick after I got into the sport. But within a year of fishing with our local club, I jumped in and started another club because that one fizzled out. And now and that club is still running to this day. We got the two biggest clubs in the state of Arkansas that are still rolling. I don't run them anymore. I've kind of passed the baton, but I'm still involved and glad to see they're still hanging around.
Yeah, 2011, 2010, 11, 12, when you were getting into it, starting clubs and do it. That literally was the infancy of competitive kayak fishing at all. Yeah. So, for you one of the grandfathers, I guess, of kayak fishing.
I don't know, man. There was guys doing it way before me, and especially on the salt side. But
that's a whole different damn story with them folks, though.
But yeah, man, I've been to some of the original big tournaments. The people don't even know the original Tournament of Champions was actually called. On KBN, people make fun of PKAs, professional kayak anglers. They make fun of them. Right. But the very first Tournament of Champions was called the PKAA TOC down in Texas back in 2012 or 2013. It was the Professional Kayak Anglers Association. It was the first big tournament that I ever went to. And it was just a bunch of hammers. It was kind of under the radar. Social media wasn't that big then. And it was unreal, man. Steve Garcia from Austin, Texas won it. I'll never forget that. It was legit. And I won Big Bass at that event, Lake Fort.
No shit.
Thought I was somebody back then, boy.
Yeah. Well, and that was the day of taking out your camera chip and putting it in the computer, right?
I've got some stories about how we innovated on that crap. That was some crazy shit. A guy named Bo Reed. I don't know if you guys know who that is down in Texas. He was kind of an early on tournament director and pushed, and he took over that Tournament of Champions and hosted some of his own tournaments. Well, he started parking lot shotgun starts down there, man. So what we would do is he'd have 120 people in the same parking lot, and he'd blow a whistle. One year he shot a gun off, and I'm talking about a dirt parking lot. Everybody just bust ass out every direction, like the Dukes of Hazzard, in the grass, ditches, flying to different directions, trying to get to their spots. Instead of first launch, it was first pedal to the metal, man. Get out of the parking lot. It was amazing.
Listen, I think they need to go back to that. I'm not a big, me personally, I've never fished in a tournament. Like I've done a couple monthly things off KBF, right? But like tournament fishing right now is not my thing. But if we had these shotgun starts, I'd be all about that.
Oh, it was insane.
Amazing.
We didn't know any better, man.
I just want to hang out in the boat launch and watch it.
Well, we already know Alex would fuck that up like you did the shotgun and the beer.
Yeah,
exactly. I'd come out with a cap gun or that little one that throws the flag, but the flag wouldn't be on it.
There was always one guy that would try to be cute, and he gets stuck in a ditch within like 10 feet. So maybe that'd be you.
That would probably be me. That'd probably be me.
So Jeff, you got your story here, and I would say that your claim to fame now, what makes you infamously famous, we'll call it, is the Kayak Bass Nation, the KBN that you and Lambert started. and what y'all have done with that. And you've talked about it on a lot of podcasts, so we don't, just touch on that quickly. You saw an opportunity to start something because of whatever was going on.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. KBN is a beautiful accident. It was not on purpose. Right. It was not well thought out. It was not very well planned. It was just like, hey, we got a bunch of dudes that are kind of pissed off and have been banned for voicing their opinion from another group. And I actually started the group with the idea. You've seen the KBN rankings. They come out every year. Yeah, that was the first thing that came out ever. There was 10 people in the group. Started the page, and I dropped the rankings. Nobody even knew who it was. They didn't know it was me. They just saw the rankings, and some people were pissed, some people were excited, but it kind of got the ball rolling with people looking at the page. Right. And then Lambert and a few other guys, we kind of talked and said, we need another group. Why the hell do we have to always go to the KBF group, and they're banning us from there? We can't talk over there. We can't voice an opinion. And I said, well, I got this little group, man. There's like 20 people in it. But we can blow it up if y'all want to. I don't care. We're just shooting the shit in a chat. And, it wasn't like a well thought out deal at all. And within a week we had 500 members. In 2 weeks we had 1,000. And now a couple years later, it's 13, 14. It's been down, it kind of goes up and down now. If people get kind of disgusted and leave and come back, but it stays around 13, 14,000. Yeah.
I always love the person, and they come in and introduce themselves. It's their first post, and they're asking about a fishing question, and you got the first offenders coming up being like, "Boy, you don't know where you just came, do you?" But it's an awesome page.
When I first found KBN, I just got my this is 4 years ago. No, maybe 3. Anyways, I just gotten my Ascend 10T, monster of a kayak, and I was so stoked. And I put a post about how, look at my modded kayak, and all I had done at that point was put one rod holder in, and I wish I could bring up that thing. I instantly got like 10 posts of like, you didn't do anything, dipshit, and that's not a real kayak. And I hope it was in fun, but I was like, damn, these boys don't fuck around. Like there's no filter, there's no crossing guard in this place.
Holy cow! Hang on just a second.
Yeah.
Hey, we shut that door, bud. My wife just got home and the dog went berserk.
Hey, Bo, tell me something.
Yeah.
In a million years, did you think you'd be walking around buying dog ice cream cones and shopping for dog stuff? And doing the obstacle course through your living room? I mean, that dog and you seem like y'all are like Timmy and Lassie.
Yeah, we got a thing going with me and this little dog, but her and the dog is next level, dude. This dog has more stuff than most human beings will ever own in its life. And we've had her 2 months.
Well, what's cool about KBN, right, is you can go on there and you can ask a serious question. You're going to get some folks in there that'll give you some smart-ass answers. But people will help you. They will guide you. But you can also, I guess it's a couple months ago, I made a simple post about Alice in Chains is a better band than Guns N' Roses. And 200-something comments later, but that's the release I think that page provides, is that you have a bunch of anglers that can just come in there and talk fishing and bullshit or whatever it is. And that's what's unique about it. And also, like here recently, the shit with the YouTube channels keeps coming up. Why? You got a page with all this stuff and people are like, why the hell can't I promote my YouTube channel? And so...
I can't. I mean, the first question when you join the page says, "Don't do that."
Right.
And that wasn't any of the moderators. That wasn't Lambert. That was my rule from the very beginning, because I see what happens to all the other group pages. They become full of spam. They're just videos and advertisements nonstop. So we just don't do that. We try not to do that. Hell, I got a YouTube channel. I never promoted it all on there.
Well, what'd you say on the last little post that came up where the guy was all butthurt about his? You said, look, if you want to get some shit, I don't think you said shitty, but I'm going to say shitty YouTube content. Come look at my channel.
That's what I said. Some mediocre content. Come look at mine. But I tell you what's funny about that is as kind of a troll, I made a Facebook group called Kayak Bass YouTubers, like right under that post. I went and made it and gave it to the guy and said, hey, here's the place for you, man. Kayak Bass YouTubers. And I thought it was funny, like a troll job. Well, like 15 dudes joined it, and they're like, thank you so much. We needed this place. I'm like, what the hell?
So in 3 years, we're going to be sitting back talking about 12,000 people that
I guess, man,
group because you are the luckiest social media person in the world. I
don't know, man. These guys and they all started posting their channels immediately over there in that other group immediately. So yeah, more power to them. Hope they blow it up.
So that's the thing with KBM, right? You can come up with some off the wall shit. You can talk fishing. It's a group of people that, like to have a good time. Every now and again, there's some shit that comes up. It is the place where cheaters can be come and dealt with in a public forum. And, the last incident we had, somebody pushed that off to you. And
yeah, they did.
But they knew that was the place for that to be handled that way.
Yeah, and the funny part is it's not like we do it. We just provide the platform. You know what I mean? Like Lambert and I don't blow everything up. We just try the best we can. I mean, people act like it's just the Wild West and anything goes, but we probably delete 75 posts a week that just can't go.
That's a lot of bottoms,
you just can't have some of the stuff that people are trying to do. If it was just anything goes, well, we wouldn't even have a page because we've already been threatened to be shut down by Zuckerberg about 10 different times. I've gotten a message saying, hey, one more admin violation and you're out. And it's because Lambert said somebody's feet look cute or whatever,
Didn't he get banned for like 5 days for that?
Yeah. And I got a warning for a whole page saying, if your admins keep doing this, we're taking your page away. And I'm like, come on, man. Guys can't even joke around anymore.
I know. I mean, shit, I'm going to post a picture of my feet on there then. Golly.
Well, you can post a picture. Just don't say anything about it. Can't say you got an ugly big toe or something and you're 30 days gone.
Well, damn, that's the only reason I post anything on KBN is because I want to get some comments.
I know. You can get, it's bizarre. I don't know how the robots work, but they have their little ways. We can get into some of that here in a little bit.
So moving into that. So moving in, what you got, Alex?
So when did you decide to move to the podcast? Because primarily you had the group and then it transitioned to that podcast.
Well, once again, that was an accident too. That wasn't really well thought out either. Do you guys ever remember West? Go ahead.
How many kids you got?
2.
Were they accidents? Because you got a lot of fucking accidents.
They were not on purpose, but they're awesome. Yeah. And I say not like we did the podcast on purpose, but it wasn't a like, hey, we need to build a podcast. It was we saw a guy named Wes Jones. I don't know if you guys ever knew him, but out in California, he did a thing called, I think it was called Kayak Bass Live or something, right when Facebook launched their live feature, however many years ago that was. And it was kind of clunky, but he was doing it. I mean, he was out there doing it, and he was hustling, trying to do it. And we were talking one day in a side chat, like, well, hell, we got this group, and we got the technology. Let's try it. Can't hurt. So we grabbed some. I think I used OBS the first time. Grabbed OBS, downloaded that open source software, and Skype, and put that shit together. And we did it. We just started doing it, and it was bad, and the internet connections never worked, and whatever. But it was still fun, and we just kind of kept on keeping on, trying to make it better and better and better. And now with StreamYard, it's just like, what the hell? It's plug and play, and it's easy peasy for everybody.
StreamYard is so easy.
Yeah, I know my dumb ass can run this shit when Alex ain't here, so it is easy.
It's true.
So did y'all initially start in the kayak, tournament scene doing it that way, or did y'all just have random people on?
It was kayak. The very first guest man was Richard Penny. You know who that is? He was the COO of KBF. He ran everything. He ran the tournaments. He ran the everything. He was the first guest, and that we had been banned from KBF. That's why the page even started. But we had Richard on because he was cool. He was on KBN And when there was somebody would bring up something about KBF, he would mix it up and answer the questions and be like, hey, we messed this up. We're going to fix it. This is bullshit. And he was a great dude. And we wanted to have him on and talk about it. So he was our first guest, and he was always on the page and always involved, and, didn't mind taking some bullets if there was something wrong over there. So yeah, we started right with him, and it was always some sort of tournament deal. The first, I don't know, 6 months, a year, we weren't consistent with it. We'd do 3 shows and then not do one for 2 months. And then we'd do a couple more shows. And, we didn't really get consistent probably till this last year and a half.
Yeah. And so I just got into kayak fishing December-ish of 2020. And so when I started diving into the podcast and the YouTube channels and all, KBM was one of the first podcasts that came up. I think initially it was Dark Waters. I think the Paddle and Fin Network, y'all, like it was the first few searches, y'all were in there. And I went back and listened to some older episodes coming up. But now it's, I drive a lot. And on Thursdays, what I look forward to on Thursdays is that shit hitting, because it's the first one I play Thursday morning when I get in there. That's what I like about it. So
appreciate that, man.
But
I think what's refreshing, sorry to cut you off, Paul. I think what's refreshing is you guys and Dark Waters, I know specifically on why I created this whole thing, was taking, so everybody knows Bass Talk Live, right? I feel like they're probably the biggest fishing podcast out there. Yeah. But they have a certain standard that they have to keep, right? And for the people listening, I air quoted standard. Like they're very much like they've got like huge name sponsors. They can't be as open and real. Yeah. And between you guys and Dark Waters, very open and real on your podcast, which I think is refreshing. That's what kind of caused me to want to do this podcast.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Like, I want to be real with it.
Yeah, I think the Paddle and Fin guys do more of a, I hate to say professional. I feel like we do a professional production, but you know what I'm saying? They kind of toe the line a little more over there, and they've got a lot of different shows and with a lot of different topics, and I think it's great what they got going over there. But we're more of a hybrid between a Ike Live and whatever.
Whoa. Hold on,
where it's just kind of more loose.
I don't know if we explained to you that Ike is not a word we mention.
It's not a word Alex mentions. I love Ike. Alex, Alex is a damn pansy. That's the problem. He's a fucking pansy.
Me and Ike got beef. He kicked me off his private lake. We've got beef.
Okay. But you got to respect the fact that the man is a true kayak angler. He's probably the only one. There's like 1 or 2 pro bass fishermen that actually kayak fish. They don't just have one on their truck for show. And he's one of them. So you got to respect that a little bit. But we're not homies or nothing. I'm with you. I'm on your side.
We got crickets. It's crickets. Like people are like, you got to respect that he won a Bassmaster Classic.
No,
years ago.
Not that. I'm just saying.
And I don't think he actually won. Listen, hot take right here on Bass and Brews. All 47 listeners are going to hear this. I think all the competitors threw the competition because they were worried that it was going to hurt his feelings, and that's how he won that tournament.
You never know. We'll never know.
I have nothing else to say when Alex gets on his anti-Ike kick, because he's just jealous that Ike is super handsome and a better angler than him.
Listen, I'd like to stop making fun of him, but I can never give up. Never give up.
Oh my God.
Nice segue. I like that. That's good.
Yeah. What is it? Oh, you got to take a pee break? Go take a pee break.
Wait a minute.
It's okay.
What did that say?
Yeah,
all right.
He said, Paul's got this, we are high technology on Bass.
I need to pee. Oh, okay. It's got magnetic dry erases on there. That's cool. That's fancy.
Yeah, we are next level here. We're next level here. So, go ahead, Paul.
You're not taking the camera with you. Okay. Thank the Lord. All right.
Listen, we do things weird here on Bass and Brews.
Do I need to?
No.
All right. So you guys run the podcast, which is awesome. And I want to wait till the next subject, right? But you run the podcast. Why did you pick Facebook specifically to start the group? Was it just because of ease of access? Or
that's it. I mean, that's where everything went. You know, when I started doing this, it was all about forums and websites and whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Facebook was new and the groups weren't very big and nobody really did that. But now, I mean, Facebook's killed all of that, unfortunately, in my opinion.
Right.
So yeah, that's why that's where everybody was at. So
because I feel like I don't know, when I found you guys were already established, but like when I found out, like I don't know, it's like almost a weird subgroup of fishermen who kind of do the Facebook thing. And this is more obviously not fishing really, but there's more fishermen that stay on the Facebook groups, and then there's the fishermen on like Instagram. And I almost feel like they're two separate groups, and there's two different vibes on each of those platforms.
If you're a tournament angler, you're on Facebook. There's no tournament anglers that just do Instagram. There's no way, because of all the communication that happens over there on Facebook. Now there's some bikini anglers and some look at me anglers over on Instagram. But there's no tournament. I mean, there's tournament anglers over there, but that's not their exclusive platform that I've seen.
Right. And do you think that's just due to, well, I guess because everything's picture driven on Instagram is how you guys are seeing it, right?
There's no networking over there, really.
Gotcha. And so,
well, maybe we should move the angling world into LinkedIn, because that ain't nothing but networking.
Hey, I got a place to move the angling world. We're going to get to that, right?
We are. Well, so where would you like to move the angling world?
Do you not see the stepping stones we're laying down to get there?
I got you, man. I'm just antsy. I'm wanting to like jump. I'm trying to jump ahead. Sorry. Let's go back to KBN.
No, you're here now.
Shit right
you're here now. What do you got? Yeah.
So,
I don't know if you know how professional you are. About 3 months ago, we got stats in that we were the #1 fishing podcast on Spotify.
Oh.
Which is insane. Now, it was the age group of 6 months to 9 month olds.
Oh,
like we really
that's something.
Cornered the newborn market. Yeah, but.
Okay. I don't even know where to get those stats. So you guys are more professional than me.
Our parent company is Uncle Sean the Fisherman and Daddy Bobby Roast Beef.
That's not what's his did you see the meme earlier, Paul? It's not Daddy Roast Beef. What is it? It's Robert Baloney. Did you see that one where they made
Old Bob Baloney. He's a good man.
All right, so what's better? What's better than Facebook or Instagram? What's the solution for this thing?
Where has KBN gone just this week?
This is not KBN. This is something new. KBN's over there. I've got a KBN spot over there. But Sunday, I released a new project I've been working on for a while called the Kayak Fishing Network. It is a social network just for kayak anglers. Right now, it's just a website, mobile website. It's going to eventually be an app if things go the way I hope they go. But it's an all-in-one spot where you can have your social groups and your profiles just like on Facebook and Instagram. But you also have your club groups. There's forums there. There's an integrated community event calendar where all the events can be looked at by an individual angler instead of having to jump. Wait a minute, Paul. You can't do that kind of shit. What'd that say?
Oh my God.
Kayak Fishing Network. Is that okay? Turn that scroll on, man. This thing's got the scroll option.
Why don't you just leave your readers on? I mean,
I wear them for see, normally I'm running the podcast and I'm over here trying to make things happen on 3 screens and I got to wear them. So I was trying to take them off and look like a normal person tonight. So,
well, I mean,
anyway,
you look like you're 20 and not 52. So
that's right. That's the plan. See, I got to keep the hat on, glasses on, keep the light low. Everything's good. But yeah, Kayak Fishing Network, man, it's the idea is to be a one-stop shop for everybody in the kayak fishing community. Use it for an individual angler, to manage your own profile and schedule, or as a club leader or club member to get over there and use it instead of Facebook. I think at first there's already over 100 people over there. There's I think 18 groups formed over there already. Some owners groups for some of the brands, some actual club groups, things like that. But right now, I think they're just doing it in addition to Facebook, which I hope eventually they can make the move away from Facebook. And we can get into some of the reasons why I think that's a good thing if you guys want to.
I do. I think this is – so I don't know if you're familiar with us. We bring on we do bring on tournament anglers, things like that, but we're really kind of focused on content creators and people that are adding that extra oomph to green and brown fish, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're trying to talk to folks that are giving more to the systems that bring us all together.
Yeah, our main guests are folks who create content either through podcasts or YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. Now they intertwine, and some of them are tournament anglers, and we do talk about that aspect of it. But you know, that was a big thing about getting you on now. Why it's kind of short notice when I called you is because that launch, I was like, oh shit, this is a great time to talk about what's going on, because we all know, you know, Facebook has cracked down on this stuff. I'm sure you'll talk about that, but you know, it's early in that game that it's early and that people are going to start, something is going to be created from that Facebook group arena, just like what you're talking about now, because of how they have to police that network.
Yeah. And with the way I see it, man, we started off over here with websites and forums, and there's still forums that are pretty big, you know, around the country, but that's kind of old school to use a forum. But it went from forums and it went up to social media, and Facebook groups is everything. But I think we're to a point where people want to go back to that more self-contained website / forum, but they don't want to give up the functionality of Facebook, you know, having your profile and being able to like and comment and post videos and all that. They don't want to go back to just some website and a forum. So Kayak Fishing Network is both. You've got the ability to have your own profile, upload pictures, you know, all that kind of stuff, just like you do on Facebook, be a member of a group, you know, post gifts, whatever you want to do. But you're over on a self-contained website that is not beholden to any of the rules and algorithms of Facebook. Because to me, how fair is it that a guy, you know, I don't want to get into politics, but, you know, let's say he post a Joe Biden or a Donald Trump meme on a Thursday, and he gets kicked from Facebook, and now he can't go to his local kayak club's page for the captain's meeting or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Why do we have to be beholden to Facebook for kayak fishing content? It doesn't make any sense. They don't provide us anything. Yes, it's free, but they've got us by the balls, so to speak, and can do whatever they want with all the rules and algorithms and everything else. And they're throwing ads in our face nonstop. They're directing us here and there nonstop. You've got to, if you're going to check the next tournament, you're looking at have you registered to vote yet? Have you got your vaccine yet? Whatever the hell it is. Why can't we have a place where it's every picture, every time you scroll, every profile is kayak fishing, kayak fishing, kayak fishing, and that's it. Nothing else. No ads, no bullshit, just kayak fishing. So that's the plan in a nutshell.
And so for me, again, just getting into the kayak. And I say getting in kayak fishing from a standpoint of the competition, because that's what I love, to compete. Like when I get on Facebook, I might look at the first 2 or 3 posts of whatever, but I'm going there to get on my 2 local kayak club pages. I'm going on there to get on KBN. I go to Facebook now for pretty much the sole purpose to go look at the kayak fishing stuff, the groups, and everything else is just noise that I try to avoid, because I know 20 minutes later my damn thumb's gonna be getting sore because I'm over there looking at Jenny's grandma shit her britches today, and you know, so I go on there now to go to the groups to look at that, because that's the information that I want to see.
And if you've noticed on the app updates, they're making it harder to get to, like it used to be right at the top, and now I've got to go over to a different menu to get to the groups, because everything Facebook does is designed to keep you on that app. It's not designed that they're not into the business of customer service to help us. They need us to help them. They need our eyes on that screen so we can pay those advertisers. And I get that. That's their business model. We don't pay for Facebook. But the Kayak Fishing Network, if you guys have seen it, there is a small fee to join. It's a membership site, and there's a couple of reasons for that.
I got my yearly.
Yeah, there you go. It's $8 a year, 99 cents a month. It's nothing. It's pennies. But what that does is there'll never have to be advertisers on there. It'll cover the server and all the stuff that needs to run, and then it'll also keep out all the fake accounts, so you don't get some half topless chick sending you DMs trying to steal your information. Maybe some of y'all miss that. I don't know, but
I think that's a really good feature as a primarily. I know you said all the Instagram folks are bikini models, but my primary Instagram platform, or my primary platform, is Instagram for my fishing stuff, right?
Yeah,
but
I didn't mean that as a slight to you there, bro.
Oh, I know. No, I'm just messing with you. It is like I've tried the bikini thing. I didn't get as many views as I wanted.
Yeah. I've tried the booty shots. It doesn't work.
But you're absolutely right. Like, you can get these inflated follower totals, right? But then when you go look at them, it's all spam accounts. And we can rewind this all the way to, Paul, what was that, 5 episodes ago? We had the social media episode with Ramon Outdoors, where we talked about going through, and you have to like weed that shit out, because one, it's not going to help you on social media at all, because they don't like engage, and that's how that algorithm works, right? And they're actually not really engaging in your content or viewing it. They're just trying to sell you OnlyFans accounts. And you're right. If you're into that, go for it. But there does need to be something more streamlined. I like the idea of adding a membership, because that'll instantly cut out your bots, all of those other ad-centric things. Yeah,
that's the idea.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'll say that's the idea, is to block some of that out, and it'll also even 99 cents, which is, like I said, nothing, will keep dudes from making burner accounts to mess with you and things. You know what I mean? It'll be legit accounts, legit pages throughout, I hope.
And so, we've got all these free platforms available to us. And I've been following the post that has been going here for the last 12 hours, however long it is. Like, how do you see getting over that hurdle of people having to pay to come over that? Like, what is that selling point, and what is the hurdle that you have to overcome? Because I would tell you, y'all got a good base following there, and so you're going to have that base there. So what do you see as that hurdle, and how do you kind of get some of these folks that are on the fence about having to pay to be a member when I can be over here on Facebook for free?
Well, like I said earlier, if you're getting something for free, you're the product. That's how I look at it. If you're getting something for free, you're the product, and Facebook's selling that access to you to whoever can pay for it. Whereas if you're joining a membership site like KFN, we're providing you a product. I want to give you a tool to help you as an angler streamline the information you're looking for, the people you're talking to, connecting with, and so on. So I'm going to continually try to make it better for you. I'm not trying to get anything out of you. I'm trying to make it better for you. So number one, it's going to be customer service. There's true customer service involved here, because I'm going to try to make it a better experience as we go and as we grow it. I've got an app, the structure for an app on the docket. Just got to grow the community a little bit. Got some other ideas to build into it that are going to be, there's nothing like it in the game right now. And frankly, there's some features on there right now that Facebook doesn't have. Within the groups, when you form a group for your club, you can sign up for a weekly or daily or monthly newsletter where you will get, if like Paul, you said you only go to your groups to check specific groups, right? Well, let's say you're a tournament angler and you don't even like checking the groups. On Thursdays, you can get an email of everything that's happened in that group that week. Look at that and be good to go. Know if you even need to go check it or not. That kind of functionality that's not available over on Facebook. The event calendar, everybody in the community can upload to the event calendar, and you can filter it by local, state, or national events, online events, whatever you want to see on the event calendar, uploaded from everyone, rather than having to go into each group, each organization, try to find those events. So that's there. It's got a marketplace. It's going to be all kayak fishing stuff all the time, along with some home rentals and just different categories in there like that. So you're going to instantly cut out all the chatter and the clutter that you get on Facebook or wherever your platform is, along with some other services that you're not going to get over there for free.
I think that's amazing. I think that's a really forward-thinking idea. I think that's taking old technology that worked well, doing forums and things like that, but repackaging it in a proper way, taking the mistakes that you've seen on other platforms and improving on that. I think that's really, really awesome, man. I think that's the right way to go. That's what we need more on this side of the sport, I guess, or you know what I mean, the community that everybody's trying to build. That's the extra one. You saw a problem and you attacked it with solutions instead of just bitching about it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, because what I see, man, is in my mind, I get pissed off and I've gotten into so many Facebook arguments over politics and COVID and whatever the hell, Twitter arguments.
Yeah.
I've done all of that. And then I thought to myself, the only reason I'm even here is to go check on Clifton's post on KBN, and I'm over here arguing about a COVID shot. Why are we beholden to these? They're not kayak fishing software. Why are we beholden to them? Let's come up with something else. So I've been doing research for a while, and been working on this, and decided it was time to launch, especially after that Facebook outage a couple of weeks ago. Imagine, there was a big tournament coming that day or that week, and that happened, and everybody's in the dark and they don't know where to go.
Well, shit, but y'all didn't think y'all were going to be able to do the podcast that day.
Yeah, that's right. We were locked up. We were going to go. Yeah. We were going to go YouTube only, but even then, we're relying on YouTube. So I've got some right now. I can't live stream to the Kayak Fishing Network yet. There is a Zoom integration where you can actually use Zoom meetings within the group. And the cool thing about that is on the event calendar, on Zoom meetings, whatever you use within the Kayak Fishing Network pages, you can put those in email, or you can add them to your Google or iCalendars on your phones, so you'll get reminders, not just on apps. So if you click on a tournament that's coming up, you can hit that to your calendar real quick instead of worrying about going back to the app to find it.
And you mentioned you're waiting to move to the app. Do you think moving to that app will help push you? Because I feel like, and maybe it's just me, but if I gotta go, I prefer an app, basically.
Yeah.
Is what I was going to talk long and winded and philosophical about how usually an app helps streamline your audience on hey, I go here, because then it's less distractions, right? They don't see all the tabs on and they can be on their phone. It just makes it a little easier.
Yeah, and right now, I don't know if you guys have looked at it, but the mobile site on the phone is pretty good. And I wouldn't have launched it if it wasn't. I'd have tried to just hold off. But it's pretty good, and you can add it to your home screen and get to it just like an app. But yes, the app will take it next level. But as everyone knows, apps are a pretty huge outlay of money. So I was kind of pressing pause and just seeing if this thing could get some traction first before going down that road.
I agree. Yeah. Me and Paul, we were talking about doing an app and a Bass and Brews app, and we looked at our budget. And it was really hard to find a developer out of the profits we've made off this so far, which is $7.32. So I was basically looking at a 2-year-old who is really good at Java. That's about all we could get.
You can do a blog spot.
But see, so you think about progressing. I think that's the thing about Facebook that moved everybody to Facebook from the forums.
Yeah.
Was app based versus web based?
Yes.
The steps, the view on your phone, because let's think about it. Everybody's on this all day. Would you rather go to an app to do whatever it is, buy groceries, look at your bank account, check up on Grandma Jean and her gout problem?
As you said, shitting her britches, right?
Oh, but I think that was another grandma. But anyway.
Oh.
So, do you see the visuals of it, what people like and what draws them is the app version trying to look at it on that. So the progression to the app, I think, is what really takes that to the next.
Yeah. And that's level. I want to get there really bad. I think I've got a threshold in mind of members I need to hit to make that jump, and it's not very high. If I can hit 400 or 500 members over there in the community, I can try to make that jump. Because this isn't some money making scheme. I'm just trying to dump whatever membership fees back into the development of it, without doing a GoFundMe like some kind of punk over here trying to get help to do something. I'm trying.
A grown ass man asking another grown ass man to like his YouTube page. Was that Cliff or was that Jim that was talking about that?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm trying to provide a service while we build it at the same time, if that makes sense. I'm kind of doing both at once.
But
like I said before,
too.
Yeah.
I can't be the only guy that gets pissed off at Facebook that wants something different. And that's how I kind of thought about it. You know?
Honestly, for me, like I don't use Facebook. Yeah, it's on my phone. I don't use it. I used to do groups, and then even those, I did like KBN. That was good. But even my local groups became so overran with spam because they weren't moderated correctly. And it's just got that, you have the groups thing, right? But then you just have your normal feed. So then I accidentally just click on the normal feed. And like Paul said, then I get caught up in some other bullshit. And then I'm on that fucking thing forever. Yeah. Right. And then it did get too political. It did get too political. I think I missed that part. I had to step out for a minute. Maybe we'll talk about that off show. No, we'll talk about it now. Total side note here. You were in the military, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
sort of. I was in the Air Force, but yeah.
Never mind. So this is about the military.
He's in the Coast Guard. Y'all the same boat. Just
oldest
have them with different
service ever. But anyways, I had a knock at the door. I had to step out because I had an E4 come up to my door and say, "Hey, my room key isn't working. What should I do?" And so I had to look at him dead in his eyes and go, "Maybe you should ask the fucking front desk. Last time I checked, I don't run this hotel." And he goes, yeah, you're right. I should go check the hotel.
Bitch, I'm recording a podcast. I ain't got time to get you in your room.
So I might have missed it, but yeah, so you get sidetracked on Facebook, right? And Instagram does the same thing. I do like the Instagram platform better. It is more visual. I kind of like that. I like seeing pictures of fish, right? Yeah. But if you're a tournament guy and you're trying to like send out information, it is not the best platform for that.
So let me tell you this. On the Kayak Fishing Network, there's an actual photos receptacle, basically everybody's photos go to, where you can click over there and look at all the photos.
Love it.
And when you create your profile, you get a handle like you do on Instagram or Twitter. It's not just your name. You can make it whatever you want, and you follow people kind of like you do on Instagram. So it's a little bit of hybrid, like Facebook, like Twitter, Instagram, all kind of melded together. But anyway,
I feel like
I'm selling. I'm putting the hard sell on you.
I like it. The only platform you're missing is a fisherman only fans. Like, is there a way that I could?
It's coming.
Okay, it's coming.
What I do have.
Hours app.
So what I do have on the coming down the line along with the app is the ability for these elite anglers to teach and sell courses through the network website. So you might see Jay Wallen selling a $25 course on expert A-rig tips or something like that. Or maybe it won't even be for sale. Maybe it'll be free. I don't know. I haven't really worked out the logistics on that yet, but having a learning aspect to it also.
So who decides elite?
Me.
Okay, that's fair enough. No, that's fair enough. Because I think who did that? Angler. Have you ever used the Angler app?
No.
So they do something where they'll like give out.
There's a reason.
Yeah. So they have a weird feature where like I know Fluke Master Gene Jensen was on it and he was selling waypoints basically.
Yeah, that's
like
bullshit.
You could sell. Yeah. So you're not going to go that route.
No. I'm talking about lessons, and I'm not even sure on the pricing yet. It may be just free. I may send some money to the guys to build the courses. I don't know, sure. but the idea is to have a learning aspect also.
I like it
as an integration with the website.
Like a Bass U for kayak.
Yeah, sort of, but built in as another option on there. Yeah. I like and frankly, when I first had the name Kayak Fishing Network, that was the plan, but I couldn't really pull that off, and then it just made sense. Hey, it's a kayak fishing social network. Let's go with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like it, man.
Well, and so you think about the fishing world. Kayak fishing is still new, and especially during the pandemic phase, where all these people bought kayaks and are getting into it, and that's why you see 2020 Hobie 360s going for $3,500 because they got it. They used it 3 or 4 times last year, and now they're like,
and then they went and bought an Old Town.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're like, boy, I don't want to have to. I suck at this. Like, fishing is easy. Let's watch some Gerald Swindle on the YouTube, and I can do that shit. And then they go out and fish some tournaments, and they're like, these fish suck. They don't bite shit when they're terrible anglers. But anyway, what we get into is the sport is growing, and I say the sport is growing by the number of people coming into it. Mm-hmm. The other aspect of growing the sport that a lot of people talk about in the tourney world, they want to grow the sport so they can get paid enough. I don't know why the fuck I'm doing all these air quotes. Anyway,
I started it once. I started it once.
I started it with the Raptor. It was the Raptor.
No, don't say Raptor, Jeff. You said premature.
Premium Raptor. The
PR. Raptor.
Anyway, the other side of growing the sport is growing the tournament side, the sport. I don't know why the shit even matters to what I'm talking about. But anyway, I fucking forgot. Here's the deal. There's a lot of people coming into it. So the educational aspect is important because fishing out of a kayak ain't easy. If you're compared to, let's say, a John boat with a trolling motor, fishing out of that kayak is harder than fishing out of that John boat. And then you get these people coming in that have never even fished before, or their fishing was relegated to the bank with a spinning combo or a Zebco 33, and now they're getting out there, and the cost of entry into fishing tournaments is super cheap. So they're like, I want to do that. So that education side of kayak fishing is a huge niche that's ripe. Because you've got people coming in that, like me, I grew up fishing. I know how to damn fish. I got a lot of knowledge. Put my big ass in a kayak. Holy shit, I fucking suck at fishing. It's just a different way.
That's why, the techniques on Bass U, they translate how to fish a jig. But there's something you lose going from the bass boat to the kayak, whether it's casting angle or whatever the case may be, covering water. There's more to it. So I think there is a spot for that education outside of just searching YouTube. You can go to YouTube and search, but a true teacher, trying to teach you some things. So
I think you really killed something there with the Bass U, especially with covering water, right? So I was on Bass U forever until I realized Mike Iaconelli was involved in it, right? But they cover a lot about like search baits and everything, right? But they're all doing it from that bass boat perspective. If you could transition to something to find somebody to talk about how like the homework before you get on that body of water is so important in the kayak, because you can't cover miles and miles and miles. You can't just run and gun. You've got to make sure that your homework ahead of time is legit, and you're going to put yourself in a good spot. Otherwise you're fucked.
Yeah. And I tell you what, that autopilot, man, that Old Town autopilot, that you can translate a lot more of what they teach or people in a bass boat teach to the autopilot, because you're standing up and you got the remote in your hand and you can literally run a bank or run a grass line or whatever and do that as if you were standing on the deck of a bass boat with that bow mount and that remote. But even then, it's not the same.
About that, because you can't even talk about the autopilot on Kayak Fishing Network, right? Because that's not really a kayak.
You can talk about it all.
No, I'm just messing with
you. If you're a paying member, you do what you want to do, bro.
You can talk about whatever you want. All right,
I'm a paying member. My first post is going to be on my feet, and I want to see what happens.
All right. Okay. Put that in the KBN group. Make sure you do that.
I want that to be the video of your squeaky ass Hobie drive next to my clean, smooth PDL drive. Make sure that's the first video you post.
Let me tell you something, boys. I know a lot of people in the I'm gonna do some quotes in the industry that run shops and whatnot, and there's a lot of them Hobie drives in the shop looking for parts.
Yep.
Especially in 360s, but you got to use them a lot. I'm just kidding. I don't know how much.
I ain't got no 360. I'm a po-ass Hobie owner. Right. I only got the 180 drive. My fins are wrapped with the same Gorilla tape that I sent your rub in.
Oh, by the way, thanks for that. I still hadn't even used that yet. I was smoking every 3 days, and then I got that, and I hadn't cooked anything since. So
I know you were putting all those smoking pictures up. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna send you some rub. Like, hell yeah. And then I send you the rub, you get it, and you ain't cooked.
I've been gone. I've been gone every weekend. Until this last one, we had our state tournament. I really wasn't gone. I was just kind of depressed after what happened. But yeah.
All right, Jeff.
Dude,
so
I felt bad. Hold on, motherfucker. Look, Jesus Christ, it's been Jeff. This guy right here, when it hits an hour into this show, he's like fucking Cinderella on methamphetamines about getting the fucking show going. He starts fucking tweaking out. Oh my God, it's been an hour, Paul. Jesus Christ, we gotta do these questions. Fuck me, I gotta go to bed. I mean,
that's that. Hey,
there.
That's that Coast Guard, man.
Listen, we gotta keep to a schedule. We gotta keep to an attention span.
I did a 2.5-hour episode 2 episodes ago.
And you lose me on
that episode. Who was on the episode? 2 co-hosts. 2 co-hosts.
That's
all
true.
They did was
That's
talk.
true.
All right. So Jeff, if you're not familiar with us, Paul, do you have the questions up? I'm on my phone.
Oh my God! I was just about to ask if you got the fucking questions.
So Jeff, we're kind of known for this segment, this ending segment, and this has not been our normal interview, which has been awesome. It's been a great interview. Thank you so much for coming on. But we are going to hit you with the Paul. You ready for the patent pending? What did we call it? Rapid fire? Pew 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 pew. Is that what we called it?
I don't know. I'm gonna fuck this up because the note, I shared a note for me and Alex for Alex to give me all the shit.
You guys make show notes? You guys are way better than me and Lambert.
No, I used to do show notes before I moved. But I want to make sure we're clear. So how this works is you got to answer the question. You get 1 second to answer each one.
Oh, we want
that right off the head, right?
We not talked about how old I was? It's going to take a minute.
You'll get it, but we're going to be clear.
Hold on. To make this fun, I'm going to write the questions on the whiteboard. And
no.
But I want to make sure that you're fully prepared. Josh from Dark Waters, he did this. And then he had a change of heart, and he wanted to start a new podcast. He wanted to change his whole life, basically, after the backlash.
You guys are the ones that you're the ones that shut him down. How about that?
Listen, we just brought the light. We just brought the light. Also, we've had Bailey.
Don't put that shit on us, Ricky Bobby.
We had Bailey from Serious Angler on here. I don't know if you listen to his podcast, and he will forever.
I can't take the accent.
Well, he will. Forever be known as the guy that said spinach on one of these questions that doesn't make fucking sense. So
I got a word ready. I don't know what the question is, but it's coming.
All right, let's do it.
Shit.
Paul.
That's what she said.
Paul, what did we call this? Didn't I have a funny name for it? Do you remember?
Well, that was the last episode, and I don't listen to episodes, so
I don't fucking either. I don't listen to any of these episodes. I leave a comment
the ones you're not
on YouTube. Yeah, no shit, right?
Well,
all right,
anyway,
let's do it.
We're going to call this the rapid fire super fast question and answer session for Bass and Brews with Jeff Malott.
Let me stretch out.
All right, wordsmith. All right. You are a wordsmith, Paul.
All right. It's a good thing that he's been in Arkansas long enough that he can understand my accent at this point in time in the night, too.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Crocs or flops?
Flops.
All right. Well, it was good interviewing. It's been a good one.
I wear flops until 12 months out of the year. So anyway, next.
All right.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
You said pizza. It's not a dessert.
Yeah, exactly. No shit.
Uncultured.
You gonna spend more on a rod or a reel?
Rod every time.
Oh shit.
Is that the first time?
I don't know, but if it's not the first,
I think that's the first time.
The second.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in that too. I'll put a black max on a good rod any day and be able to do the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in a 3-hour session, 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder.
5 2s.
Tournament guy. Tournament guy.
That's the second guy. Who else said 2-pounders? Who was that? We hadn't had too many of those.
Mark.
I did the math. That's 80 inches or 21. Or 22.
Mark was the one that said 5 2-pounders.
Oh, yeah.
Tournament guy.
All right, wacky or Texas rig?
Texas.
Can take that. Slow jams or hype music?
Slow jams.
Oh shit!
Oh.
What kind of? Oh, be specific.
Dude,
be
look.
more specific.
I got my wife listening to Silk and Shy back in the day, and Jodeci, a little bit of Jodeci and Keith, a little bit of Keith Sweat mixed in there.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
That's how those
I was
kids
like,
were accidents.
Yeah, I was like 5 years.
Mhm.
I was like 5 years old when those came out.
yeah.
All right. Are you eating largemouth bass?
I have.
No. You go catch them and eat them on purpose?
I have. Yeah, for sure. It's important.
All right.
Yes. I grew up in South Carolina, Bo. We only have 3 fish to eat: bass, brim, and catfish. And if we got lucky, we could catch a carp to make carp balls with.
Now I'll qualify that with, you got to manage them right. Don't go eat 8-pounders, but when you're catching the when you got a lake full of 14s, you got a lake full of 14s, you got to clean them out. You can't have all them things in there.
No,
if the biggest fish you catch
like 10 pounds and he hated.
Yeah.
No, I did not. No. But yeah, you're right. If you catching all those little dinks, you eat the ever-loving shit out of them. Because if you catch them and you catch a brim that's 2 hands big, too many bass heavy pond.
Game and Fish is begging you to do that. They're begging people to keep those fish.
Real quick, would you ever put largemouth bass on a pizza?
No, maybe back when I was young and stupid, I would.
Fuck you, Sean the Fisherman. This guy's a professional, and he said, "You're full of shit, Sean."
So I'll tell you this: that there have been studies done in ponds. I think it was somewhere in Indiana or Ohio, where the fish that were caught and kept and eaten, the offspring from those fish were more likely to bite bait than the fish that were caught and released.
Really?
Yeah.
I went back and told them.
Evolution.
Yeah, genetically.
Evolution.
They went back. They went back and said, "You believe what the hell just happened? Do not do that. Do not do that."
So the last question, and the most important
question.
This is the one. I got this one, Paul. I remember this one.
This is the only one you remember, you fuckface.
I've been doing this question since episode 2. So every fisherman loves a good sandwich. I need your top 3 sandwich proteins.
Like on the water sandwiches?
It could be anywhere, man. We all love sandwiches.
Okay.
So
well, we're looking
3 proteins
in order, especially on the water. PB&J.
Okay.
Roast beef and cheddar.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. And then just a regular old ham sandwich.
Love it.
Thank you. You did not say fucking spinach.
You did not say spinach. Bailey from Serious Angler said fucking spinach.
What does spinach have to do with a sandwich?
I said a sandwich protein, and he goes, spinach.
First thing. But Delirious
He got shook. That's what happened.
But then I started this Delirious Angler. I think it was my episode 3, right? I asked him the same question. First thing out of his mouth, he goes, cheese. Cheese. All right, Jeff, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been a blast. I really appreciate you coming on. I want to take this time.
Don't sign off after we end.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all the listeners. But I want to take this time for you to be able to talk to or talk about any sponsors, anybody else that you'd like to talk about.
No, man, just shout out to Old Town. Appreciate all they do for me. And really, I'm kind of weird about sponsors. I don't really chase them. I only partner with Old Town right now. And my number one sponsor, my wife, AKM Salon. Check out our website. AKM Salon Boutique. Order some stuff. But between what Old Town does for me and the family I have that supports me to get out and do this stuff, I appreciate it. And of course, all the people on KBN that make kayak fishing fun over there.
And make sure everybody goes out and looks up Kayak Fishing Network.
Yes, kayakfishingnetwork.com. Sign up.
Right.
Use the
Thanks a lot
code.
for coming
Hey,
on.
wait a minute. Whoa. KFN Club. If you use the code KFN Club, you get 90 days in there.
No excuse. Everybody get on it. All right, man. Thanks so much for coming on, bud.